Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by HTC. Hey guys, we're having another HTC day here on Living Local Carolina, and today I'm in the studio. We're joined by Coy. How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Awesome.
Coy, what do you do at HTC?
So I'm the Executive Director of Information Operations, and really what that means is I run my department and I run the corporate IT side of the house. And corporate IT is really all the things that help the business to function. Whether you're calling in to really report a trouble, we've got systems to help track all of that. You go online to make a payment through our My Account. We help support the software behind the scenes. We've actually got developers that write and code that. So that's a big part of what we do. So
do you do any coding yourself?
Not as much today as probably I'd like to. That's what I started at HTC doing many, many years ago. Unfortunately, today I don't get a whole lot of opportunity to do that. But outside of the software side of the house, we also handle the hardware side and the cybersecurity side. So any desktop, laptops, iPads that we need to help the business operate on a day-to-day basis. I mean, that's what we do. We keep them up to date. We keep them patched for security reasons. And so all the servers behind the scenes, I mean, my team is responsible for working through all of those pieces.
Yeah, let's talk a little more about cybersecurity.
Okay.
That's a big concern for people these days,
Yes,
right?
It is.
What are you guys doing to help combat that?
Oh, wow.
Or I should say, what are you guys doing to improve that?
So it is a continual process that we're working through. Cybersecurity is, the landscape's ever changing, and so I like to think of it as like an onion approach. There's many layers to an onion, and so HTC is adopting, just different layers of security to protect, if you pass that first door, we want you to get maybe caught by the second door and the third door. And it goes all the way down to every employee within the organization, has a responsibility. So we have tools in place that, are called firewalls, and those firewalls help, keep the bad guys out. We have software that's put in place to help filter our email so that we're not getting a whole lot of bad actors coming in and trying to, trick us and click on links and get things, infecting our systems. And as far as the data that we house for our members, we try to make sure that we store it in such a way that it's not easily decipherable, if it was to get breached in a way. So there's just many layers that we put in place to make sure that if someone does happen to get past one, maybe the next one will catch them. So.
Well, is there one thing that you think is the most important when it comes to cybersecurity?
I think awareness is probably the biggest thing. This month we just kicked off Cybersecurity Awareness Month, believe it or not. So,
awesome.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and so we try to run a lot of heightened campaigns for our employees during this time to remind them of, to be safe and secure in everything they do within the corporate IT infrastructure. We try to make a big push this month, but not only this month, I mean, all year round, we're trying to reinforce that training and making sure that they are practicing good cybersecurity habits as they go throughout their day and their work life.
Are there any good habits that you think people need to be adopting when it comes to cybersecurity? Just not leaving your password out for everyone to see?
Well, that's number one probably for sure, So passwords are probably one of the easiest things that we really want to, folks to have a good password. And folks have an account for everything anymore, whether it's Netflix or YouTube or your online banking or your utility company. There's a password online. There's so many things we can do online. And the habits for most people are, I'm going to create one easy to remember password and I'm going to use it everywhere. And that's the worst thing to do, because you want a different password for everywhere. And you want it to be a complex password. You don't want to be birthday or family members or things along those lines. You want it to be something that's not easily guessed. But the fortunate thing for many folks out there is Our phones have password managers on them today.
Love it. Well, Coy, you've given me a lot to think about. I might need to be changing my passwords after this. But guys, we'll be right back right after the break with more HTC Day. Welcome back to HTC Day here on Living Local Carolina. I now have Heather in the hot seat. Heather, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you for having me.
Heather, what do you do at HTC?
I'm the lead technician in our tech support department. That I do most of the training for our department. Overall, my responsibility is to make sure that all of our team members are prepared to do their job.
Okay, interesting. Did you always think you were going to do this for a living?
No, not really.
So how did you end up at HTC?
When I started at HTC, I was a part-time employee. I didn't really have career in mind at the time, just started on a whim. And as I started in our operator services department, we took the typical operator directory assistance calls, but we also assisted in some technical support, like level 1 tech support for our lines of business, and that sparked my interest for tech support and inevitably landed me where I am today. So
I feel like it has to be some sort of calling. Like you have to really be good with people if you're going to be taking those calls, you know?
We do hear that a lot, and it does take a lot of patience. And of course, it's not for everyone, you know, sitting behind that phone and listening. When our members call us, they're calling with an issue. It's not, you know, just a typical conversation. So it does take a special person to take those calls and resolve those issues call after call, day after day.
Well, what does exceptional support mean to you?
Exceptional support from HTC in our tech support department, to me, I think our department plays a vital role in the services that HTC provides, and that being data, video, voice. And we all know that electronics and communication services are bound to fail from time to time. We can't prevent all those failures, but when they happen, our department's there. So to begin with, the 24/7, 365 support that our team provides is part of the exceptional experience that we give our members. But when the member calls in and we're there to take that call, a live agent's there to take that call and to have the knowledge and the experience to help them resolve their issues. And a lot of times that exceptional experience doesn't end with that phone call ending. We are always going behind the scenes and trying to figure out why that problem happened and what we can do to prevent it from happening again. So the hello and goodbye is not the entire exceptional experience that we provide our members. It goes beyond that.
I gotcha. Well, how are you guys keeping up with the technology changing all the time? Because now I feel like every time I update my phone, I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Yes, that it is. Sometimes those updates and the new technology comes quicker than we're ready for sure. But much like any other profession, continuing education is important, and we do try to stay on top of all of the changes in technology. And sometimes a simple email or a short training video is sufficient, but occasionally it takes that one-on-one training or a classroom-style training to prepare our team and to make sure that they're ready and have the knowledge and the confidence to help our members.
And you were saying that you do training in your job title? Like that's what you do on a daily basis?
Yes, that is the majority of it, yes.
Interesting.
When we bring a new employee into HTC, the first few days are spent going over your typical HTC applications, policies, procedures, but then we take a deeper dive into what's specific for our department, our applications we use on a daily basis, the products and services that we provide. And that typically takes 2 to 3 months to get a new employee ready to go on the phone and confident enough to take those calls without assistance. And it varies based on what they bring to the table when they come to us. But also the training that I do goes beyond the new employee because of the continuing education that you spoke about. You know, sometimes our more tenured technicians can receive a call that it may be an unfamiliar or an unusual situation that they're not confident or knowledgeable about. So I assist them in that. We dig in and do our research and then make sure that they're ready and prepared if they should be faced with that same issue again.
Good stuff. Thank you, Heather. If somebody wanted to reach out to technical support, how can they do that?
So as I said, our team is available 24/7, 365. They can give us a call, and the live agent's there to take the call at their convenience. But we can also be reached by submitting a ticket through your HTC My account, as well as directly from our website. You can request a tech support callback. So,
guys, we have more HTC Day coming up right after the break. Thanks for sticking with us here on Living Local Carolina. I've been getting to know the team from HTC, and now I'm joined by Taylor. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
Great.
Taylor, you work in HR. What is your exact title in that?
So I'm a human resources representative with HTC.
Okay, did you always think you were going to be a human resources?
I did not. So I was born and raised in Conway, and then I went to Columbia for about 4.5 years. I studied psychology, and then I decided that it was time to come back home. So I came back home and I worked for a little while, and then I saw an opening at HTC in customer service. So I actually began as a customer relations associate at HTC, kind of got that framework basis of all of our products and services. And then I was, at that time, of course, supporting our members. And then I decided it was time to support a different group. So now I support our employees.
So what exactly do you do on a daily basis?
It can vary a little bit, but mostly I assist pretty much administrative employees, support any questions they might have, benefits administration, employee engagement. A bulk of what I do is with our recruitment. So you think recruitment process, you're thinking, of course, the usual reviewing applications, going through the interview process and making selections, and then on through onboarding. And yes, I do that, but a big part of what I do is on the outside of HTC is that upfront recruitment. So I pretty much make relationships, I feel like, a lot of the time. So I'm working in another coworker of mine. We work very closely in creating those relationships with colleges, schools, doing career fairs, in and outside of schools, and so just building relationships, letting people know who HTC is. So we also work very closely with marketing and some of the events that we have planned and programs that we started. So.
Very cool. Okay, well, you said it, you remind people who HTC is. What exactly do you guys do for somebody that might not know?
Okay, so HTC, we are a local telecommunications cooperative. So what that means, we've got our voice, video, internet, security, and then we also partner with AT&T for cell phone service so that you can combine your bill conveniently.
Very cool. And I've heard that it's honestly just a great place to work.
It is.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I would say HTC is a special place to work. So not only, and you'll hear this time and time again, you ask somebody why do they like working at HTC, what I hear is
it's a family.
It's a family, yeah, it's a family. You've heard it before, right? Yeah. And it is, but it's more than that. I feel like it is not only just the people that you work with, because it is such a supportive environment, but it's also management. They really take a great care of the employees. We do employee engagement, things like that. So we really foster that fellowship with each other.
Yeah, and you guys also do a lot with growth, making sure that people are, moving on up. How do you guys do that?
Yeah. Management does such a good job. They're forward thinking. I feel like they're so supportive in what our employees do. So with growth, we do typically hire from within. So you'll see if you go to our website, a lot of entry level, unless we're looking for something specific. But otherwise, we do hire a lot internally. And so with that, you're growing in your position, or you might just be growing in your own department. And I feel like management, they're always there to say, where do you want to go and how can I help you get there? We like to say we're not a selfish cooperative. We want to make sure that our employees are happy. So
I love that. That's an awesome idea too. I think more companies should do that.
Yes.
Well, if somebody is interested in finding out what positions that you guys might have open, what does that whole process look like?
If people are looking for positions that are open, they can definitely go to our website, which is htcinc.net. It's a portion at the top. You'll see careers. They can go on there, see what's open. If there's something that people are interested in that they're not seeing, then they can connect with us. And so connecting with us, basically you set up a profile, say what you're interested in, and then if something does come open in that area of interest, you're sent a notification or email.
All right, well, before we go, is there anything else that you think people need to know about HTC or what it's like to work there?
I think one thing that I like to highlight when I talk to people is, again, the family atmosphere, but also we have great benefits. It's just a wonderful environment, and we talked about growth within HTC, and so they do foster that growth professionally, but also personally too. So it's a nice place to be.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Taylor. A lot of great information. Guys, go on the website if you want to see what positions are open. But stick with us here on Living Local Carolina because we have more HTC coming up after the break. Welcome back to Living Local Carolina. We've been doing HTC Day, and my last guest is Miss Lisa. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Tell me, what do you do at HTC?
So my official title is Senior Marketing Coordinator.
Okay.
So I'm in the marketing department, and there's a lot of things that the marketing department does. A lot of falls under our responsibility, but the things that I'm primarily responsible for are high-level projects, my account, member experience, things like that. So
very cool. Did you start out in marketing, or did you start somewhere else and work your way up to this?
So I have been at HTC for nearly 25 years.
Really?
Yes, I can't believe it. The time has flown by, gone so fast. I actually like to tell people I started when I was 12 years old because there's no way I've been there that long.
There's no way.
No, I did not originally start in marketing, and I'm very thankful for that. I actually started in the customer service side of the house, which I think is a really great place to start because you learn so much about the organization, about our services, about our processes, our procedures. So I was able to gain a lot of knowledge in that position. So I'm really thankful that that's where I started. And I spent a couple of years there prior to moving into the marketing department. So it was a great experience, but I'm happy to be where I am now.
So how long have you been in marketing?
So probably around 22 years.
Wow, okay, so you've got some marketing experience.
I do, and it has changed so much over the years. What I started out doing and used to do, that is a dinosaur, ancient, forever gone. It doesn't even exist anymore. So it evolves, it changes rapidly. So we are in an industry of technology which changes rapidly in itself, but marketing has also changed as well. So everything is just so radically different. And what we're doing today is probably going to look different tomorrow with AI coming and all the things that that's going to bring. So it's exciting. Everything's always new and different. So it's always interesting what we might be getting into from one day to the next.
Yeah, it keeps you on your toes for sure.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, I've heard that October is Cooperative Month. What exactly is that, and what are you guys doing for that?
Yeah, so October is National Cooperative Month, and HTC is a cooperative. So we like to highlight that in social media and in our publications, just to bring awareness to the community and also to our members as a reminder that we are a cooperative, and with that comes the local cooperative values that we're so proud of. And so as a cooperative, what that means is we don't have any customers. That sounds like a shock, right? But we have members. So anyone who subscribes to our service, they are members of a cooperative. They have membership, which also gives them ownership. So that's really unique in our business structure. So it's really a key differentiator between HTC and other service providers. We're the only local cooperative in our area. So what that means as a benefit to our members is any profit that we have, revenue minus expenses, that profit is then returned back to our members in the form of capital credits every year. So whatever, we have excess at the end of the year, we divvy it up and it goes back out to the members. So that's a really big benefit. We hear all the time our members love to get that check or get that refund. It's very, very nice.
Yes, it's a very unique thing too.
Yes, it is.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you think people need to know about being a member for HTC, some of the benefits?
Yeah, so like I said, one of the big benefits is those capital credits. And another membership benefit is the ownership. So you have voting rights. Every year we have an annual membership meeting where you can actually go in and vote for our board of directors. So that's another benefit. And then one of the guiding principles of a cooperative is just that local hometown community, and that's one of the things we really pride ourselves on. It's one of our guiding principles is giving back to the community. So as a member, when you subscribe to HTC services, you're not partnering with a big giant in the industry where they might be sending support back to Dallas or New York or wherever. Your money is staying here local, and we're investing back into our local community, and that can look like in the form of sponsoring athletic programs, schools.
This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by HTC.